your sweetheart. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For 45 years, we've named millions of stars for celebrities, dignitaries, and individuals worldwide. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can give the most memorable gift. The star you name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
How are you sleeping these days? Swanson Hyperbarics has a natural therapy to help you feel better, have more energy, and get more sleep. It worked for me. I know it'll work for you too. Swanson Hyperbarics Oxygen Therapy proves to be an effective, non-invasive, anti-aging treatment. Plus, if you're dealing with pain, inflammation, you don't have to. Go to SwansonHyperbarics.com. That's SwansonHyperbarics.com or call 701-929-3930 today and start feeling better and sleeping better too.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus, 106 in the afternoon. And we went from April to February in a matter of 24 hours. It's all white out there now. What'd you get up in your neck of the woods there, Bridgette?
It doesn't look like that much. I would say there's less than an inch out there. It's not a lot. It drifted up a little bit in some places. But, if the sun came out, I bet a lot of this would disappear on some of that warm ground.
Well, yeah, and not today. But I think before the weekend is done, we'll see sun return, and we will start to melt away a lot of this, at least on some of the roads, and still some slippery travel. Just had a report about an hour ago. One of our trucker friends was going in. He was down around the Barnesville area on 94. Said a couple of semis were in the ditch, pretty slick over there. A lot of that's due to the blowing snow coming right across the interstate. And so you get into those open areas, watch for blowing snow, watch for slick travel. It's going to remain that way probably through most of the afternoon, as temperatures are not going to climb above freezing. They'll stay in the teens and 20s. Throughout much of the area. And Justin, how about you? What'd you get up in good old Forks area?
Oh, we had about an inch and a half, inch and 3/4, somewhere in that 1 to 2 inch range for the most part.
Okay. Yeah, we picked up generally 1 to 2 inches in the valley, and a little less in Lakes Country where they picked up about a half inch. So not a big system. And again, this was right on target. This was our Christmas storm. Our LRC Christmas storm, which brought record rainfall, and it brought record rainfall again, or the record moisture. We picked up 43 hundredths of an inch, which was a record for the day yesterday. So, although not as potent of a storm as our Christmas storm, and this will be back again in 45 days, which would put it right around March 25th, if I'm not mistaken, right, Justin?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's right around there. And if you want to follow along with those predictions, you can head over to our website, WDAYradionow.com. Click on the weather tab, big red button right at the top of the weather page says LRC Calendar Outlook. And you can follow along month by month on when we expect these storms and what the weather to be like all the way up into April. And we'll be having our spring outlook
coming up.
It was a month and a half from now, probably another month from now. And we'll be
Did you guys
diving
say,
June through September.
Did you say March 25th?
Oh, Lord, you are traveling somewhere, aren't you? Where are you going?
I'm going to Bismarck. That day. So sorry, Burley County. Here it comes.
Unreal.
Seriously, I can't believe how many days you travel that we ended up having circled. It's every day you drive. It's a storm.
I know, but now Thursday I got home before it went bad, so I just left it in my wake behind me. That wasn't necessarily
you got lucky there,
right?
Good for you.
I got lucky there. Got lucky.
Yeah, I think I took off on Thursday from the studio a little early because I just wanted to get ahead of the changeover from rain to snow. Because when the roads are wet, it doesn't take much sleet to start getting those roads to be a little icy. And by the time I got to Thompson, the car was bouncing around the road at 60 miles an hour. So it got slippery pretty quick yesterday.
We're going to have to put some suitcase weights on your car.
Yeah, it's not the biggest of vehicles.
They have sandbags you can put in the trunk there, buddy. Or salt.
You could do that too, except it's a front-wheel drive car.
We'll get some tractor weights, the suitcase weights, and get those mounted up for him. It'll look awesome. just super
Yeah,
aggressive too.
it's gonna look awesome, but I'm gonna go from 27 miles per gallon to 17 really quick.
Look, there are some sacrifices that had to be made. Some of them are yours. That's just how it's going to have to be.
I got a better one.
What's that?
Okay.
I'll just stay home.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Sure. Yeah. But the boss just came out of his office. He's looking for you.
Here I am.
Well, let's take a quick look at the forecast. Temperatures out there right now in the 20s up and down the valley. A little cooler teens in areas of Lakes Country. Still a few snow showers on radar. Generally on the Minnesota side from just south of Climax to about 20 miles south of there, moving southward. And again, not really going to add up to much, but I could see a few light snow showers out there this afternoon. With temperatures remaining in the 20s most areas, with northwest winds 10 to 25 and gusting a little higher at times, producing, again, a little blowing snow, especially in open areas. Tonight, mainly cloudy down into the teens with lighter winds out of the northwest. And for Saturday, mostly cloudy, upper 20s. Sun returns a little bit on Sunday, and we'll get above freezing. It looks like the lower 30s. And we'll stay in the lower 30s Monday and Tuesday. And then a clipper system comes our way the middle of next week. And behind that, hello, return to below zero temperatures. It looks like at least during the nighttime, I think, but we do drop below normal as we head towards next week. And here's one thing I want to point out. So Justin and I were talking in the office the other day, and he said, remember this storm when it came through on Christmas? We remained pretty warm or warmer than normal afterwards. So
We did.
and so we're going along with that. And so this storm goes through. And we're still above, now we have above normal temperatures for the next week. And then, Justin, on the calendar, what happened after that? You've got blue highlighted for about, 7 days? We're around of...
yeah, about that,
yep.
6 days,
around
7.
And it looks like that'll be the case. A round of below normal temperatures will follow. And again, that starts at the end of next week. So, I mean, seriously, just in tune with the LRC calendar, and everything's kind of fallen into place. And it'll be really interesting to see how this storm comes back on that March 25th time frame. Is it going to be a little stronger in this cycle or in the next cycle? And will we have more rain or snow by then? Boy, you'd hope by the end of March we'd be more rain.
Would you like me to guess what it's going to be? Knowing
Well,
that
you're driving, so it's going to be ice and snow.
Yep.
Right.
Watch out,
that's how it's
Bismarck,
going to go.
Jamestown.
Yep. Circle that on your calendar. March 24th through the 26th time frame.
Here she comes again.
Bridgette, when else are you doing any traveling in the near future? Let's say just by chance the rest
Next
of
week?
February. Next week. Great. What day is that? Is it?
I actually, more importantly, remember when you said that there's going to be that cold snap after we get, this storm, et cetera, and there'll be a cold snap. And did you say that was probably going to happen somewhere around the week of the 19th?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that'll be spot on. Got it.
Oh man! Again, we've got to tie you up with Gary, and the and tie this in with the LRC, and I mean these predictions could be even more spot on.
We just
just can't make that up.
It's not really that Gary had a great prediction. He just has access to my travel
travel schedule. There we go.
Yeah, this is where it happens.
Oh man!
Wow.
So
it'll be fine.
Yeah. So we got a big weekend this weekend. It's Super Bowl weekend, and
I heard Taylor Swift was playing.
Isn't it?
I don't think any of our teams are. What'd you say, Justin?
I said it's that football game.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, the Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
game.
and the Taylor Swift game is going to be happening. Yes, that one. Mm-hmm.
Who are you guys rooting for?
Don't care.
Doesn't matter. No, really.
I also don't really care, I guess.
Wow. Okay.
See, we're weather and ag, not sports, Dean. I'm not sure if you got that part when we started.
I kind of like to pick your brain on some off-topic situations. I mean,
you do.
Okay.
I'm no help, but I hear there's going to be wings and nachos, so I'm in.
So you're there.
That's all I really cared about.
And beer.
Totally.
So here's the bigger thing outside of the game, and everybody cares about this. Most people are getting really sick of it. Do you think that the Travis Kelce, if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, do you think he'll propose to Taylor Swift after the game?
God, I hope not. They just
I
barely
don't think
met.
so.
I-
Well,
Yeah.
that's one thing.
I think they're already engaged and they're keeping it hush.
Oh, please.
I think they've been dating longer than you expect. They
This
just wanted
country
to make,
obviously needs royalty because we don't have anything else to obsess over besides this.
some
It's
of
just
us,
as
right?
bad. Right. You know what we can obsess over, though? That will be a
What's
new
that?
segment that we are starting, and we're going to have a guest coming in. And so, starting out today, and we're going to use this the last Tuesday of every month, will be the Farm Finance Insiders. We're going to be joined by Greg Stemen. He is with Starion Bank, and we want to talk about money because money matters. And so, Greg's going to join us today to kick that off. And then our first official time frame will be here at the end of February. So I kind of look forward to that because we get a lot of questions in the background, whether it's about the custom farming projects that we do as a team here at WDAY or what farmers are going through. I mean, Greg maybe will laugh, and maybe I shouldn't say this on air, but farming is kind of like a giant money laundering business. You know, you make money, you spend a tremendous amount of money on Main Street with its inputs, equipment. And so not everybody understands just the size and scope of what we do. And this is a great way to answer questions for listeners. And we strongly encourage you to send those to us. Again, you can always email us agorweather@flagfamily.com. And you can call us on the Red Wing Shoe phone line of 701-293-9000 as those types of questions come to your mind. Always a great discussion. Money.
Great. And we'll have more
It's
with
going to be a fun.
Yeah, it'll be a nice fun
I think
segment. Absolutely. And if you have any questions for Greg, as Bridgette said, give us a call on our Red Wing Shoes hotline. But right now we have to go to American Ag Network, and don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Mixed action in livestock markets as we wrap up the week. You're listening to the American Ag Network. of Jesse Allen with this market update. Well, as we're wrapping up our Friday session and wrapping up the week, got a mixed day here in cattle and hogs, waiting on final settlements. But overall, things are just kind of going to go quiet into the weekend, it looks like, here across the cattle and hog trade. As we take a look at what's going on in cash cattle country, that's been a big talking point here heading into the weekend. We do have a bid on the table in eastern Nebraska at $285 dressed, but outside of that, not much is being seen right now in cash cattle country. We got asking prices around 183 plus in the south and 290 plus in the north. Buyers and sellers, they've really dug in their heels. It's just a matter of who will blink first, and only time will tell. My guess is something will move one way or another here late in the afternoon on Friday. Beef cutouts lower at midday. Choice down 87 cents, $294.14 per hundredweight. Select down $1.34. At $282.78 per hundredweight, with light to moderate box movement being seen. Hog prices and trends. Red Oak, Iowa trend is higher with barrels and gilts at 41, while Dorchester, Wisconsin, Gardenville, Iowa markets, they are closed here on the day today. As we take a look over at pork cutout values as well here going through the midday, up 12 cents, 86.48. So again, it's kind of a mixed bag here as we wrap things up, as we're waiting to see what this cash cattle trade is going to look like here for this week as we get into the late afternoon on Friday. You're listening to the American Ag Network.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Are you over the age of 60 and been diagnosed with lung cancer? If so, you and your family may qualify for a cash award. Our experienced attorneys are standing by to evaluate whether you have a lung cancer claim that qualifies you for a cash award. The consultation is absolutely free, and there is no risk and no money out of pocket. We only receive a fee when we secure you and your family a settlement. 250,000 people are diagnosed with lung cancer every year. You're not alone in this battle. We can help make sure that you and your family are financially safe and that medical expenses are covered. Again, if you've been diagnosed with lung cancer and are over age 60, call now. Don't delay. There are deadlines for filing claims. We're standing by 24/7. Call us at 1-844-903-1744. 1-844-903-1744. That's 1-844-903-1744. Attorney advertising. William Stephacker Jr. is the attorney responsible for this ad. Main office, Scranton, Pennsylvania. May not be available in all states.
Your numbers here as we wait for final settlements. February live cattle up 72, 184.50. April up 10, 186.67. March feeder cattle up 27, 247.12. And February hogs up 37, 73.67. You're listening to the American Ag Network. That's a check of the livestock trade. I'm Jesse Allen.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
And thank you for joining us today here on Weather and Ag in Focus. Thank you for my barn door, Dean. I appreciate that very much.
Hey, speaking of that, you still have the piggies. You haven't lost them yet, right?
I'm keeping a very close eye on them.
Okay.
Now, they could be riding in my cup holder securely fastened there like Adventure Chicken is, so I don't lose any more of this menagerie. But we got to make sure we don't lose any more livestock out of the barn.
Great. Awesome.
So today we are going to kick off a segment with a new guest, and that's going to be Greg Stemen with Starion Bank. And we're going to call this the Farm Finance Insiders. And I'm going to have to practice saying that several times so I get it right from now on. So, Greg, how are you today? Tell us a little bit about your business over at Starion Bank.
Well, I'm doing well. First of all, Dean and Bridgette and Justin, it's great to be here. I appreciate the opportunity. We're excited over at Starion Bank. We have a great team of bankers, very diverse background, very extensive background, and business continues to boom. It's a different environment than it was, 18 to 24 months ago with a rising rate environment. A lot of people aren't used to that. But whether it's in the commercial side, whether it's in the ag side, I think it's certainly weighing more heavily on the minds of borrowers and also people who are looking for a place to keep their liquidity available to them and get a good return on it. So it's definitely a different environment, but one that I'm always excited to visit with you guys about.
And Greg, so far the Feds have kept the interest rates kind of where they're at. Is there any telltale sign, or what are you guys thinking over this upcoming year? Do you think they're going to keep them kind of steady, raise them? Do you think they'll lower them? I mean, if they lower them, that's good news. But what do you foresee, or what are you hearing?
Well, I was going to say I'm not going to foresee anything, and so. But what I will do is the Fed is great at keeping everybody guessing, and it doesn't sound like anything's going to happen in March, and so. When it doesn't sound like anything's going to happen, that's probably when something will happen. I don't know, but I think there's a fair amount of talk in the industry that June seems to be a time when they may make the move, but that's just that is pure speculation, no insider information at all. But that just goes back to what I said. The Fed is great at keeping people guessing and wondering what they're going to end up doing.
Well, the next time you come in, Greg, you're going to need to bring your crystal ball because that will be super helpful.
Or the
to
magic
these
8 ball.
discussions.
Yeah, okay.
Justin already uses that. I'm not sure we can have two. So
that's how we put our forecasts together there, Greg.
Right, yeah. Likewise.
So when you think about in relation to the farm economy, Greg, if we see a rise in the rates or even if we see a cut, what kind of indications does that give you for your growers? Any concerns one way or the other?
I think what it does, though, we're dealing with, like we said, a new environment. I think what it does is really forces producers to go the extra mile when it comes to preparation, go the extra mile when it comes to putting their plan together when they come in and talk to their banker. Be aware of the added expense that the interest expense becomes much more substantial than it was up until 18 months ago. And that can also fluctuate. And so a lot of times what bankers will do is what we call stress testing, where we say, all right, if your yield drops 5 bushels per acre, if it drops 10 bushels per acre, if the price goes up 5 cents, if the price goes up 10 cents, how does it impact your cash flow? In a rising rate environment, those swings become a little more volatile. And I think the more you're prepared to say, hey, listen, here's where I know I need to be to get to break even, and as opposed to what my normal yields are or what the projected prices are, I think the more you're prepared as a producer with the information you provide to your lender, the better story they can tell when it comes to deciding on agreeing to loan dollars or not. And so I think those things factor in. Preparation is valuable, and then increasing efficiency wherever possible. A lot of the precision ag stuff, it can be a big front-end investment. At the same time, how much does it really pay you back over the course of time, especially when you look at the cost of inputs and just the cost of production. So I think all those factors matter when it comes to telling a great story to your lender.
You're exactly right. And okay, so here's a little bit of a trail as far as I want to take this to the global marketplace. When the US dollar is strong, it's not good for ag because it limits the buying power of other countries who have to come buy the dollar in order to buy our ag exports. And so that weighs back on our farmers, that they aren't selling as much product. That may drop some of our commodity prices. So when you think about that line of item, should we as U.S. farmers be reluctant to have a strong dollar? I mean, I hate to put it like that, but it's a little bit better for us, wouldn't you say?
Well, to your point, you're exactly right, and people have always said, "I don't get the strong dollar or when it's weak," and you portrayed it in an excellent manner. Foreign countries have to come and buy our currency in order to buy our products. And when our dollar is strong, they can afford fewer of the American dollars to make those purchases. It's not unlike what our grocery carts look like with $100 worth of groceries in now compared to 18 months ago. There's a big difference. The buying power is not near what it was. And so to your point, Bridgette, in the ag industry, we probably benefit at times when the dollar is not nearly as strong because it opens our products up to foreign markets and become more readily available, and that does drive market prices in the U.S.
And what kind of conversations are important to have with your clients right now? What should they pay attention to or be concerned about?
Well, I think input costs are huge. I mean, they continue to increase, and I know back when I was at a different institution, I know one of the things I said is, you know why they can charge this much for fertilizer? Because they can. And sometimes you wonder what drives the markets. A lot of that is based on what the farmers are able to get, for their product when they take it to market. And so I think just paying attention to that, also talking about, hey, are there some interest-free options? Are there avenues that I can go with when purchasing inputs that allow me to maybe take advantage of some price breaks depending on when I purchase, and when should they be looking at not only inputs for this year, but then the following year as well. And so I think those things, just paying close attention. Sometimes in conversations with fellow producers, you will find out some things that you didn't know. So I think it's always good to be asking questions about where some opportunities are to take advantage of some cost savings and or maximizing some efficiencies.
And Greg,
that's gonna be huge.
Yeah. And now, when the interest rates are high, is there any special programs? Because, I mean, farmers, you need loans and you need money, but when the interest rates are high, I mean, that's a huge hit to our ag community. Is there any special programs that our ag community can sign up for low interest loans that are below the current rate, or is that something in the farm bill that you know of? Or
well, it's a good question. Different entity, an example, with Starion Bank in particular, we have a relationship with Peterson Farm Seeds, where farmers can, and it's on a case by case basis. We will evaluate, but they can get interest free dollars for their seed purchases, and it's like I said, case by case basis. We'll evaluate it, but those are relationships that different institutions will have with different entities, who market inputs and things along those lines. So those are unique. Those are maybe I don't want to say a one-off, but those are a little bit unique and a little bit specialized at times. And so there are things that you can look at, but it really comes down to finding out, and sometimes you work with individual vendors, and then also having a relationship with your banker where they're very familiar with what you're doing from an operating line and whatever it might be. Right now, the people with working capital that don't have to borrow as much are way ahead of some others. Sure. The stronger borrowers are in very good positions right now. The ones that aren't as strong, have to pay on the operating lines. And then also the other thing you have to do, I think producers need to really look at in this environment, is you got to look at some of those real estate loans that you locked in for 5 years about 4 years ago. Now they're going to reprice pretty soon. You got to factor this into your budget. You may be going from a 4.5% rate to a 7.5% or 8% rate on an ag real estate loan. Oof. And those things factor in. So it might not be this year necessarily that you're looking at, but if I have to look at it in 2 years, how does that impact my cash flow? And it impacts it a lot more so than it did, 18 to 24 months ago.
Mm.
Oh, absolutely. And so, like, Greg, just as we wind down here, let's say I've been your long-term farm customer, and the things that I need to bring into you as we talk about my operating for 2024 versus maybe the conversations we had 3 and 4 years ago? What are those, any standout differences that you see that you're taking into more of an account going into the 2024 growing season?
Well, Bridgette, I think it's a great question because you want to be prepared when it comes down to evaluating credit, because your credit's going to get evaluated like every other borrower, whether it's by a team of 2 or a team of 10, depending on the size of the credit. I just think the more information you can provide, the better. And I'm going to go back to what I said, the stress testing. How well do you know your operation? You know what your average yields are. You know what the markets are projected to be right now. But if those things change 5 or 10% in either direction, how does that impact your cash flow? And when you can answer that question, and you can also answer the question as to, hey, I know here are some of the things that I don't like about my balance sheet. How can I maybe clean these things up? Proactive thinking is always an appealing part of a borrower that shows that they know their operation exceptionally well and they're willing to share not only the great parts of their balance sheet, but also the things that maybe don't look as good as they'd like them to look. How can we make them look better in the next 2 to 3 years?
Very good information there, Greg. I want to thank you for kicking off this new segment with us that we're going to be doing periodically throughout the year. I think it's every single month we're going to be having one of these little sit-down and conversations. If someone listening, they want to get more information about some of the topics that we were talking about during this segment, or more information with Starion Bank, where could they go to get that kind of information, or maybe get a hold of you?
Well, I appreciate that. StarionBank.com is the website, and that has all of our locations in North Dakota, and we've got a few in Wisconsin as well, but very ag-centric when it comes to a lot of our other locations. And my email is gregs@starionbank.com. gregs@starionbank.com. I would be more than happy to answer questions that you might have, or just take a look at answering some questions and or being available to talking about financing, things along those lines. We look forward to those opportunities, and I want to thank all three of you. I really appreciate the opportunity to have this discussion.
Well, look forward to having this we're doing this every month, right, Bridgette? Once a month?
Yeah, we are.
All right.
Yep, Greg's going to be in with us, and I look forward to it as well.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Well, Greg Stemen from Starion Bank, thanks very much for joining us. We got caught up with local news at the bottom of the hour. When we come back, another check on the forecast, our ag topics, and as well presidential trivia. All that and more on the way.
Thanks for making WDAY Radio your new number one with the news that matters to you.
I'm Tom Tucker, WDAY Radio News.
Accurate weather forecasts.
Today we're going to go down in the record book, calling for a high of 50.
And personalities that you can call friends.
Tony! That would not be a good thing. No.
We're proud to serve the Fargo-Moorhead Metro and the region beyond. AM 970 and 93.1. We are WDAY Radio.
This is a shout out to all hardworking farmers and ranchers. If you're looking for the cream of the crop in post-frame construction, look no further than Thor Buildings. Because let's face it, having the right size building for your equipment or livestock is crucial for your success. At Thor Buildings, they'll design your building for max efficiency, customized to tackle the seasonal weather in your neck of the woods. Post-frame construction tailored to your livestock and ag needs. Buildings built better, stronger, and built to last. So when it's time to put the hammer down, build with Thor. Visit thorbuildings.com today.
Hello from the WDAY News Center. I'm Ty Schonert with your news update. 2 people in custody after authorities say they broke into a South Fargo apartment. Authorities say they responded Wednesday afternoon and found 5 people in an apartment complex that weren't supposed to be there. Officers found 5 people in the unit. 31-year-old Essence Marchand arrested after authorities say she attempted to climb out of a broken window, facing multiple charges with an outstanding warrant as well. 33-year-old Lee Fry was also arrested for burglary and possessing drug paraphernalia. Giving Hearts Day setting records for their 2024 season of giving.
Congratulations, we made it over 29 million.
Executive Director of the Dakota Medical Foundation, Pat Traynor, speaking to us as the clock hit midnight. Giving Hearts Day reaching a total of just over $29,089,000, which will be distributed to over 600 charities across North Dakota and Minnesota. Summit Carbon Solutions says they're looking to right wrongs after negotiators brought up eminent domain in early talks with landowners.
We have fired 55 agents across the Midwest for threatening eminent domain early, and have told them, if you do that and don't negotiate in good faith with the farmer and the landowner, you're gone.
Co-founder Bruce Rostetter says if he hears of an agent threatening to use eminent domain, that the employee could lose their job with Summit Carbon Solutions. I'm Ty Schoenert with WDAY and WDAYRadioNow.com. First with the news when you need to know.
I've been telling you about these garage condos at Lux Store. It's a fun place to store your rides, toys, boats, or RV for just a little more than a place that's just a storage unit. Lux Store is designed to fit your style. It's a secure, non-commercial location with less traffic, plus interior upgrades offered at a reasonable price with a reasonable maintenance fee. Add bathrooms, kitchens, bars, entertainment area, or whatever you want. Lux Store Garage Condos, south on I-29 at the Wild Rice exit. Find out more online at luxstore.com.
Uncover unbeatable sportsman show incentives at Lakeland. For a limited time, purchase a flow lift and receive a free boat canopy fabric valued up to $5,100 on qualifying lift purchase. Or receive free Homecrest dock furniture up to $2,300 with a qualifying flow dock purchase. Experience the unparalleled convenience of flow docks and lifts. Hurry in for this limited time offer. Lakeland Dock and Lift, Highway 10 east of Detroit Lakes, or Lakeland General Store, just south of Detroit Lakes in Dunvilla.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
That was the cherry.
That was the worst compilation I've ever heard of.
Man, that silence there for 2 seconds really killed it.
It's Friday.
Goodness.
It's that time of the day, and President's Day is just around the corner. And thanks to PetroServe USA, we are going to qualify a lucky person today if they can answer our presidential trivia question correctly. We'll qualify you for a $250 gift card to PetroServe USA. That'd be a nice little handy thing to have for President's Day. We'll be drawing that on President's Day at 4 p.m., so you want to stay tuned for that. So are you guys ready?
Yep.
Okay. Let me find the trivia. There we go. All right. Again, 701-293-9000 is our Red Wing Shoes hotline if you have the answer for this. What did Ronald Reagan, Dwight Eisenhower, Franklin Roosevelt, and George W. Bush have in common? Again, what did...
I know.
Do you really already?
I know, too.
See, I didn't know this one. I thought this one might be hard, but if you guys knew this off the bat, what did Ronald...
I think I know.
Yeah, what did Ronald Reagan, Dwight Eisenhower, Franklin Roosevelt, and George W. Bush all have in common? Can you hear all the Google clicking going on? I can hear it already from here. Again, 701-293-9000. And if you get the right answer, we'll get you in on the potential to win a $250 PetroServe gift card. All right, caller on line 1. Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Can I get your name, please?
Dan.
Dan, how are you doing today? And
great.
Good. Do you know the answer to this?
I think it had to do with the axis of evil, they mentioned the same thing.
No, that's not it, Dan. That's not it. But,
okay.
Yeah, but thank you so much.
You bet.
All righty. And let's see on line 2, we've got Barb. Barb, welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. What did Ronald Reagan, Dwight Eisenhower, Franklin Roosevelt, and George W. Bush all have in common?
They were presidents.
Well, this is true.
Good answer.
That's a good answer. You know
She's
what?
right.
She's right.
Just give it to her.
That's not the answer we're looking for. No, sorry, Barb. I liked her answer, though. All right, line 3, we've got David. David, welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Can you tell us, what did Ronald Reagan, Dwight Eisenhower, Franklin Roosevelt, and George W. Bush, what did they all have in common?
Same birthday?
No, that's not it. That's not it. But we've got some good guesses here. We've got some real good guesses.
You should have just gave it to her. They were all presidents. That's the best one
Well,
yet.
that is, I mean, we can't argue with that, but
You
that's
should have just made an exception.
That's not the answer we're looking for. So we've got another Barb on the line. I'm not sure if this is the same Barb. If so, she's got fast fingers dialing. It is the same Barb. Okay, Barb, you got through right away again. Do you have the answer?
Turn your radio down a little bit.
Barb, can you turn your radio down?
There
Barb,
she
are you
is.
there?
She turned it down.
Okay.
Oh, did we lose Barb?
Sorry. All right. We've got Wade. Wade, welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Do you have an answer for us?
They're all Republicans.
That is not the correct answer, Wade. Sorry. And let's go to line 1 with Dan. Dan, what did Ronald Reagan, Dwight Eisenhower, Franklin Roosevelt, and George W. Bush all have in common?
Well, I'm going to say they were underestimated by their opponents or their enemy.
You know, that's probably true. That's not the answer we're looking for, though, Dan. I know.
Okay.
Try again, though. We still have some lines open. 701-293-9000. Again, to qualify for our drawing for a $250 PetroServe gift card. What did Ronald? This isn't. Are you sure you guys know it?
I think I do.
Google
Without
might be
even
down.
seeing the sheet.
Put it in Slack. Put it in Slack, and let's see if you're correct. What did Ronald Reagan, Dwight Eisenhower, Franklin Roosevelt, and George W. Bush, what do they all have in common? We have a caller on line 1. Caller, can I get your name, please?
Yeah, it's Quentin.
Hey, Quentin, what is your guess?
Were they all Republicans?
No, somebody else already guessed that. That's not the answer we're looking for, but that's okay. We still have some open lines if you want to try again.
It's a difficult one.
This is a difficult one, and we've got a caller here on line 2. Caller, can I get your name, please?
You bet, Dawn.
Dawn, do you have an answer for us?
My guess is they all owned a ranch.
Oh, that's a good answer.
Oh,
That's not the answer we're looking for. But thanks, Dawn, thanks for trying. Again, 701-293-9000. What did Ronald Reagan, Dwight Eisenhower, Franklin Roosevelt, and George W. Bush, what did they all have in common? Let's go to line 3. Robert, you're on Weather and Ag in Focus. Do you have an answer for us?
They were all the same age when elected president.
That's not it. That's not it.
Good guess.
Yeah, good guess, Robert. Appreciate you calling and trying again. This is for qualifying you for a $250 PetroServe. Yeah, you didn't know that?
That's the answer?
That's the answer. Yep.
We're typing to each other.
We're typing to each other. See, and you guys all thought
people who are listening are like, "What are you guys using? Some sort of teletype?" Okay, got it.
This is all right.
We're drawing magical circles like Bigfoot.
We might have to start giving out some hints. All right, we got a caller on line 1. Caller, thank you for calling Weather and Ag in Focus. Can I get your name, please?
Daryl, but your name is already in the drawing. You can't enter again, can you?
You know what? I don't think you can. Not if you're already in the drawing. No. Yeah,
everyone gets one opportunity.
Yeah, just one per household.
Yeah, otherwise, I have a guess. Otherwise, I better not.
Okay, well, we can't qualify you. I'm sorry about that. And then let's. We got a caller on line 2 here. Caller, can I get your name, please?
Scott.
All right. And what is your guess?
They were all in World War II.
No, that's not the answer. That is not the answer. Thank you for calling, though. We got Dan again on line 3. Dan.
Welcome back.
Yes, I'll try one more time.
Welcome back.
Fireside chats.
No, that's not the case. Oh, man. All right. Barb is back in here, it looks like, on line 1. Barb, I think you got disconnected last time. So...
Yeah, this is Barb.
All right. So what did Ronald Reagan, Dwight Eisenhower, Franklin Roosevelt, and George W. Bush, what did they all have in common?
Were they all from the state of Texas?
No. Oh, man. Well, Barb, good try. Should I drop off? Let's give a hint. So
we could.
Let's get somebody qualified.
I've been getting...
What's that?
I've been getting all sorts of texts and snaps and stuff from people asking me for hints or
do they have it?
They're sending me
You tell them they got to call in and guess.
Well, and they've been saying, is this the right answer? Can I call in? And so far, I don't have anybody who's given me the right answer over here.
Right. So, okay.
What do you say? You want to drop it?
We'll take 2 more callers, and then I'll drop a hint, and then we'll take our break. How's that? So we've got Katie. Yeah, we got Katie on line 2. Katie, welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Do you think you have the right answer?
I have no idea. I'm just going to take a wild guess. This is Weather and Ag in Focus. Do they all grow up on farms?
That's not the answer we're looking for, Katie. That's
Okay.
not. Sorry, good guess, though. That was a good guess. All right, we have Tim on line 1. Tim, thanks for calling Weather and Ag in Focus. Any idea what Ronald Reagan, Dwight Eisenhower, Franklin Roosevelt, and George W. Bush, what did they all have in common?
Were they all left-handed?
No, that's not the answer we're looking for. So, okay, so we're going to take a break. Here's a hint.
Can't wait to hear it.
I know.
How are you going to pull this one off?
I don't know.
I got something in my head, but I want to see what you're going to do.
Okay, it has to do with high school or college. It has to do with high school or college.
Should we throw one more little hint in there?
What were you thinking? Don't make it too obvious.
Well, all right. Maybe I'll hold it off till we come back.
Okay,
then.
put it in Slack, and then we'll see if it's too much of a hint. So again, the hint is think high school or college, and hopefully we got some more callers lining up. We still have a few open lines. 701-293-9000. We'll take our callers right after the break.
This is a shout out to all hardworking farmers and ranchers. If you're looking for the cream of the crop in post-frame construction, look no further than Thor Buildings. Because let's face it, having the right size building for your equipment or livestock is crucial for your success. At Thor Buildings, they'll design your building for max efficiency, customized to tackle the seasonal weather in your neck of the woods. Post-frame construction tailored to your livestock and ag needs. Buildings built better, stronger, and built to last. So when it's time to put the hammer down, build with Thor. Visit thorbuildings.com today.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Sunday at 6 a.m. Planning for your financial future can be stressful. It involves investments, taxes, insurance, and estate planning. At Creative Planning, we have an entire team working for you, including wealth managers, CPAs, and attorneys, all in one place, all working together. Let Creative Planning show you a richer way to wealth. Visit creativeplanning.com. That's creativeplanning.com.
Hi, this is Kevin Pfeiffer with Pfeiffer's Auction Company. Pfeiffer's February 2024 auctions include farm equipment retirement auctions and 1,500 acres of crop and pasture land in Eddy County, North Dakota, 152 acres of hunting land in Rolette County, north of Dunseith, North Dakota, 320 acres of cropland in Kidder County, north of Steele, North Dakota, and 566 acres of cropland in Stutzman County near Jamestown, North Dakota. View these incredible auctions and many more land and equipment auctions at Pfeiffer's.com.
Get $50 off your prom suit package. That's right, $50 off only at Halberstadt's West Acres Mall. For 2024, get a free tie bar and socks with your prom purchase package. Includes, ready for this, a suit coat, vest, pants, shirt, tie, and kerchief. All yours to keep. Our expert staff will help find the perfect pieces to make you look and feel your best. Suit up, stand out, and own your prom with Halberstadt's West Acres Mall.
You have to try the new pizza at Pizza Done Right. Inside the Bowler. Man, is it good. Fresh handmade dough, delicious 3-cheese blend, and tangy sauce made from scratch every day. That's Pizza Done Right. Inside the Bowler. And they have a bowling and pizza special right now. Get 6 pairs of shoes, 1 hour of bowling, a pitcher of either beer or soda, and a large 3-topping pizza for just $55. Now that's a deal. Open at 5 o'clock on weekdays and at noon on weekends. Pizza Done Right. Inside the Bowler.
How are you sleeping these days? Swanson Hyperbarics has a natural therapy to help you feel better, have more energy, and get more sleep. It worked for me. I know it'll work for you too. Swanson Hyperbarics Oxygen Therapy proves to be an effective, non-invasive, anti-aging treatment. Plus, if you're dealing with pain, inflammation, you don't have to. Go to SwansonHyperbarics.com. That's SwansonHyperbarics.com or call 701-929-3930 today and start feeling better and sleeping better too.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Boy, this is a tough trivia question. We can't seem to find anybody that knows the correct answer. So the question is, which president... Where'd it go?
Which president?
There he goes. What did Ronald Reagan, Dwight Eisenhower, Franklin Roosevelt, and George W. Bush, what did they all have in common? Angela, we got you here on line one. Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Do you have any clue what the answer is?
I'm going to say this as confidently as I can. Their mascots were all the same.
He was a young man when it happened.
That's not the answer, John. That's not the answer. Thanks, though, for calling Weather and Ag in Focus. Let's take Beth here. Beth, welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Do you know the answer for today's trivia question?
Did they all go to Harvard University?
That's not it. That's not it. Thanks, Beth, for calling. No, appreciate it. We've got Barb on line 2 here. Barb, welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Do you have an answer for us?
They all played baseball?
No, that's not the right answer. Boy, everybody's gonna say, "Oh, how didn't I get that?" Okay, couple more, and then we're gonna have to give out another hint. Chris, welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. You think you know today's trivia question?
Well, give her a shot. They're all a member of the Skull and Bone Society out of Yale.
No, that's not the answer we're looking for, Chris. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it. All right. Mike, welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Do you have an answer for us?
I have an answer, but I don't know if it's right.
All right.
I think they were all under 6 feet tall.
Oh, well, that's probably true, but that's not the answer we're looking for. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. You calling. Let's go to John on line 1. John, again, the question is, what did Ronald Reagan, Dwight Eisenhower, Franklin Roosevelt, and George W. Bush, what do they all have in common?
Okay, I know the answer to this, but I want to know what total snowfall was just as well.
Inch and a half here in Fargo. The many areas picked up closer to 2, but it was an inch and a half officially.
So who actually won the rain gauge?
Oh, Justin, that's right.
Technically, we have to wait until midnight.
We have to wait until midnight just to make sure there's not additional. Yeah, but right now it stands at 1.5.
See, now I really
I'll
don't
say it
want
before
to
the end of the show.
Because you guys have this rule about winning things.
Right. Well, what do you got? What's your answer, John? What do you think it is?
It's cheerleader.
You are... Oh, you're correct. That's right. They were all cheerleaders in either high school or college. How'd you know that, John? Did you have to Google it? Obviously not, because you did find it on Google. Nobody else could, though.
It's just the way you word things.
Okay. All right. Awesome. John, congratulations, and we'll put you on hold here. And Jacob, can you grab John's information, and then we'll put him in the drawing. And John, we'll have that drawing on President's Day at 4 p.m. Good luck to you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. You bet. You bet. Boy, that took a while, guys. I knew Reagan was, and I knew Bush was. So you could kind of tie those two together, but there's a lot of great answers on that. Man, I still like the one that they were all presidents. I think that was Beth that gave that to us. You're muted, Bridgette.
I think that was perfectly straightforward. I like that one.
That one, yeah. Oh, Beth, I hope you're listening, and we'll still. Oh man, we'll still have more. So listen to Jay's show too, and try and get in there. Jay will have a different answer.
So who that last caller was that Tom? Who was that?
Jacob's on the phone. I don't think it was.
Well, they were asking about the snow thing that we had from yesterday, and we technically need to wait until midnight.
We do,
in case there is a measurable amount to add to that.
Well, we had 0.8. Here's the thing. So we were going for the whole. Were we going for the whole storm, Justin? That was it, right?
It was Thursday
and Friday
and midnight of Friday.
Okay, because we had 0.8 up until midnight.
Midnight last night.
Yeah, and then I saw 1.5. Now, I don't know if that's the total. I haven't. So it's either, I think 1.5 is the total. Not because if you take the 1.8 and
This is close, and Mike might have shot himself in the foot because he added that 0.05 to it. Sherry went 1.4 and Mike went 1.65.
Oh.
So Sherry is off by a tenth and Mike is off by 15 hundredths.
Yeah. So we'll
it's close.
Yeah,
we'll wait till midnight.
We'll wait till midnight, and then we'll have that answer on Monday. So we have time for a quick ag topic, don't we, Bridgette?
We do, and I want to mention that mark your calendars for September of this year. Mitchell, South Dakota is the site of the National Pedal Pull Championships. Kids with their pedal tractors, have an opportunity to act just like a regular tractor pull. There is a weighted sled for them to try to pull under their own horsepower. 500 kids come in for this event in September, ages 4 to 12. It's the national championship. They don't earn any money. There's no major sponsors or big media that's there, but they do get bragging rights. And some kids, this is second or third generation who have done it. And this is at the Corn Palace in Mitchell. I think this is a great event. I love the fact that kids are driving from 6 and 7 hours away to come in and get an opportunity to show their physicality by using their pedal tractors.
I've never been there. I've heard it's something else. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah,
I've seen pictures of the outside. It's like, it looks amazing.
The Corn Palace is a pretty cool spot. I've been there before. I have not been to the National Pedal Pull Championship, but come September, I feel like this is an event I should probably be taking in just so I can be a spectator. It looks pretty cool.
That'd be fun.
So that would be fun. And, one other thing that we want to add is folks ask about soybeans a lot in this region because we are a predominant grower of soybeans in North Dakota, but we can't forget about dry edible beans. And so when I talk about dry beans, this is kidneys, pintos, blacks, great northerns, black 140 from commodity handling, transportation and processing is another 250, and it supports about 3,200 jobs. So dry beans in this region are more impactful than we might realize. We also have a lot of beans that float back and forth across the river from Minnesota as they're raised over there, brought to North Dakota for processing, but they are impactful to our region. And one thing that's going to be important is if we see some more moisture on the ground as we go to spring planting, well, are we going to get any more moisture? Is it just going to warm up, you guys? What's the next forecast outlook for the next few days?
Well, I mean, in terms of moisture over the short term, we don't have a lot at all over the next week. And we're going to have temperatures remaining in the 20s today and 20s tomorrow, closer to 30 tomorrow, really. And then as we head into Sunday, a little more sun, and then we're in the low to mid 30s for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. A little clipper system comes our way Wednesday, maybe a little light snow. Don't look for too much out of that. And then Arctic air follows that, it looks like, by the end of next week. And just not a lot of moisture over the next 10 days. Couple of clipper systems, and if you follow along on our LRC calendar, it's exactly what is on the calendar as well. So not a lot yet, Bridgette. We're going to have to wait till March. I know. For anything appreciable.
We're going to see what that looks like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we're going to need the moisture, though.
Exactly. I want to thank everybody for joining us today on Weather and Ag in Focus. You'll want to stay tuned for the Jay Thomas Show. He's got tickets for the 66th annual Kiwanis Pancake Feed for this weekend. Jay will have those ticket giveaways coming up next on the Jay Thomas Show.
When it comes to putting an honest day's work, you need the right gear. That's where Red Wing